Good day. In this video, we're going to teach you how to find the equation of a parabola. You have to learn these three formulas. We will show you when to use which one, all depending on what information is given on the parabola. Remember, any of the sums I'm going to do on this video can be done in a different way. I just want to practice the three formulas. In this example, they told us that this is the turning point, -1 and 9. They told us that -4 is one of our x-intercepts. In this case, we will use the turning point formula because that P and Q is the x and y values of my turning point. And they said, write the answer in this form, y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. They're forcing us to that formula. The important rule you must learn is don't use the formula they ask you. Use the one that suits you and then come back to what they wanted. If they give you a turning point and one other point, in this case they gave us the turning point and one other point, -4 and 0, we will go to this formula. We'll substitute the -1 in the place of P, so we write it in a bracket here, and we'll substitute the 9 in the place of the Q there. Then we have another coordinate here, -4 and 0. And we now substitute that in there, the x in the place of x and the y in the place of y. Then we only have one variable left. We will solve for a. -9 on both sides and simplify the part inside the bracket. Simplify further. We get the answer, a equals -1. Then you take this -1 and you substitute it back into that step there. Then we have the equation of this parabola. But they asked us to write it in a different way. So now we just expand this to look like this. First you square out the bracket, times in the -1 and simplify in total. And here is the final answer we found for the equation of this parabola. On the second parabola, they gave us this sketch. They gave us the two x-intercepts and an extra point. When you get the two x-intercepts, you can go to this formula. Again, they said, here is the parabola, here is the two x-intercepts, and here is the point. But write your answer to look like this. The rule is, let's not go where they force us, let's go where it suits us. If we have the two x-intercepts, I already told you, we will go for this formula. So if you have two x-intercepts and one point, we will go into this formula. We will take the two x values of the x-intercepts and plug it in the place of that x1 and that x2. In brackets, we substitute and simplify them into those brackets. And then we look for another coordinate, which they gave me, the 1 and 5. I will now substitute the 1 everywhere in the place I see an x and the 5 in the place of the y. Remember to always substitute in brackets. Simplify the two brackets separately. And keep going to solve for a. Times the two brackets out. Then solve for a. If I divide by -5 on both sides, then we take this -1 back to that position there. Then our equation will look like this. And this is the final equation of this parabola. But they forced us towards this formula. So we just simplify this by timesing this out. Times out the brackets first, then times the -1 into this bracket, and here is our final answer for this parabola written in this form. Please stop the video and get your brain around this. The last parabola for this video, they gave us the one x-intercept, they gave us the y-intercept, and another coordinate on the graph. We won't use the turning point formula because we can't get the turning point from this information. We can't use the x-intercept formula because we can't get both the x-intercepts. So we'll have to go to this formula. Like I said, if they give you the y-intercept and 2 points, we will use this formula. I will take the y-intercept they gave me, which is 0 and 8, and plug it into this formula. Then, if you simplify this, 0 times a is 0, 0 times b is 0, so we get 8 equals c. Then we rewrite the equation and substitute the c into it. Then we take one of the other coordinates they gave us. I started with a 1 and 5 and plugged it into this formula. Now we have two variables in this equation. Simplify it further, and now I have one of my simultaneous equations coming. Take the other coordinate they gave us over here, which is 2 and 0. Plug it also into this equation in the place of x and y. Simplify it further, and now I have a second part of a simultaneous equation. From here, there is different ways of doing it. I took equation 1 from here and isolated the a, got the a alone. Took the b and minus b on both sides, and I got this. This I now substitute into this second equation. So in the place of a over there, I write minus 3 minus b, like we did here. Now we just simplify for b. We get the answer, b is equal to minus 2. Then you substitute this minus 2 back into 1, either there or there. Then you get a is equal to minus 1. Then we substitute this b that we got back in there, the a that we got back in there. And then we have our final equation for this parabola. Please stop the video and get your brain around this one. Please indicate whether you liked or disliked the video and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy parabolas.